Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Real Tarot 1123. I hope all of you are doing very well. Excuse me. This is going to be a general tarot reading for my Movie Star Monday, and this is for Kurt Cobain. I know he's not a movie star. I know he was a musician. So I do believe, well, the entertainers, and I kind of have them under that particular category for my series. So Movie Star Mondays, Kurt Cobain, here we go. Yes, I know he's a singer and a musician. So I decided to do this impromptu reading, just get a kind of a feel for what's going on, with as far as his energy. Let's see if we pick up his energy. Before I get any further, I would like to say thank you to all my subscribers. I do appreciate you. I appreciate your comments, your support. Thank you so very much for that. Please continue to, support my channel. Can't do it without you guys and gals. So thank you, thank you. And for those of you who are stopping by just to visit, I hope you choose to stay. I hope you subscribe to this channel. Excuse me. And I hope you give me a thumbs up and hit the bell icon too, so that way you'll be notified when I post new videos. Now I'm keeping this camera focused onto my table so you can watch or see the cards. What else was I going to say? Yes, I do have a website. It's called therealtarot1123.com. Please head on over there. You will find all the information you might need if you are looking to get a personal reading done. And there is a subscription service there too, where you can subscribe for 52 weeks of week ahead tarot reading, as well as a 12 months ahead or month ahead tarot reading. And the website name is www.therealtarot1123.com. It will be in the description box as well. You can communicate with me directly through the website. You can message me directly from there if you have any questions, and I'll be happy to help you. Let's get started. Overall energy is Pisces. I'm going to pull a few cards for him. Then I see Libra, Aquarius, okay, Earth, and one more, the Fire card. So Kurt Donald Cobain, he was born on February 20th, 1967, and he passed on April 5th, 1994. So let's take a look at this and see where this is going. So I do have his, I'm just going to keep it on the side, 6th house. His 6th house is going to be, if he's a Pisces, 6th house is Leo. Then 5th house is Cancer. He's, of course, a Pisces. And self. Okay, so with the Pisces card showing up here, I'm going to say it's all about, his energy is clearly evidently here because he was a Pisces. And there are two things. One is the first house. So the first house does signify how you talk, how do you project yourself, your image, your self-image. It's all about you wanting to develop yourself, wanting to improve on yourself, very particular about how your image is perceived, how you perceive your image and how others perceive you to be too. Then we have Libra, okay, so he's a Pisces, 1, 2, 3, 8th house. Libra is ruled by Venus, okay, so there is this great need for wanting to balance himself as well as find a balance between his loved one or whoever he thought to be his significant other, in this case Courtney. Courtney, oh my god, what is her last name? I forgot. But anywho, you know who we're talking about. Then we have, and remember, Libra is ruled by Venus, and Pisces, of course, is ruled by Jupiter as well as Neptune. So there is a lot of, with Neptune over there, it's all about the dreaminess, the state of, illusions and dreams and explorations of the mind and, that sort of a stuff. And then you have Jupiter thrown into that. It elaborates. Jupiter intensifies all those things. Jupiter also does intensify. If a person has any addictions, Jupiter intensifies that, wherein the addictions don't necessarily satisfy them, and so therefore they want to be able to keep trying something else, trying something new. But there's also a great conflict over here. The conflict is wanting to just be by himself and be who he is or who he thinks he is and be independent and not have to have anybody around with him. But then again, there's a great need of wanting to find that balance between him and a loved one, okay, because this is Venus. Then we have Aquarius. Aquarius is also ruled by Saturn, and Aquarius is ruled by Saturn and Uranus. Now remember, Saturn is all about teaching you lessons in life, right? Saturn is all about giving you that intensity. Whatever your emotions may be, that intensity is going to be there. And Uranus is all about sudden changes and shocks. So with Saturn over here, I'm going to say he was also, very hard on himself, I would say. He was never satisfied with his work. Like, he always felt that he wasn't doing enough, that he wanted to do more. It wasn't enough. It was his own biggest critic. Okay. But then again, for him, the want and the need to be able to just create and not have to worry about anything else is also pretty big here. But with Uranus there, I'm going to say he was the kind of a person who wanted to change, do things differently, not have to follow the norm. Definitely wanted to do things differently. He did not want to fall into a particular category or be compartmentalized by the rest of the music world or even the consumers, if you will. That is, his followers or his fans or whatever, however you want to call them. So then we have the Earth card over here. So the Earth card, of course, signifies, all the Earth signs, or pentacles as we know them to be, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. And this too, to me, is looking towards the 8th house. Now, the 8th house does talk about a need to, I would say there was a lot of questioning, there was a lot of delving into, there was a lot of forays, lot of thinking about, death and what happens after that, and that sort of stuff. There's a great need, great interest on his side, on his part, in terms of what happens after we die. So what after this lifetime? Where do we go? What is karma? What is this? What is that? I do believe he did have a lot of questions with regards to that. He really certainly did. And so that's the 8th house. But then again, for him being a Pisces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th house is Libra again. So there's a great need to find the balance of the meaning of life. Where do we go from here? I want to be able to just pursue whatever it is within my heart, my mind, body, and spirit, as opposed to being grounded and doing the things, the regular normal things that one would expect from another fellow human being, such as Kurt Cobain. Like, do you have a relationship? How stable is your relationship? All the earthly things. So there was that conflict between and I wouldn't even say esoteric, but the spiritual aspects of his life, wanting to understand that, and also wanting to find the balance and have the earthly, the earthly aspect of life. Do you get what I mean? So he did most certainly want to find that balance. And I'm going to say that for sure, it looks to me, again, let me put my disclaimer out here. This is for entertainment purposes only. These are my observations and my opinions. Please do your own research, form your own conclusions, and draw your own opinions. Did he truly want to be in a relationship? I don't know. I'm not so sure about it. There is a need on his part to want to be in a relationship for certain physical needs, etc. And he felt bad about it, saying that, well, that's not right. I shouldn't be in a relationship just for intimate relations. I should have a meaningful relationship. But I don't think he really felt like he was capable of having a meaningful relationship, or even if he wanted to. He felt that was the pressure that was put on him. I don't know if I'm even making any sense. Anyway, then we have the fire card, and I clearly see that the 5th house is very active for him, and he died on April 5th. So his 5th house is his 5th house, 1, 2, 3, 4, is Cancer and the moon sign, right? And he died during the Aries season. So this tells me that emotionally quite overwhelmed, I do believe his emotions. You look at Pisces and then look at the fifth house here. Fifth house talks about speculation. There was a lot of speculation going on in his head, and a lot of confusion, and didn't quite understand how to kind of separate things and kind of, I would say mentally he was in a pretty stressful state, right? So let's let's look at some other cards. I don't know if I want to do these, my old faithful, or if I want to open another set of cards for him. But we'll see as we go. How about I do this? Very unfortunate, no? I mean, the talent and all that stuff, to come to find out that, it's very, very sad. This guy, I would say, there was a conflict between his spiritual self and his mental self. I don't think he really, I know it's hard when I say this, but for him it was all about just wanting to create music, and he was very cognizant of the fact that not everybody was going to like his music, but he was okay with that. He's like, whoever liked it, and whoever didn't, and I'm okay with it. It wasn't an ego thing for him, which is, but so let's see what we have. The Ace of Swords, right under the Pisces card. Then we have the Seven of Swords, Six of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, and Nine of Cups. So let's figure this one out. So with the Ace of Swords popping up right under his first house, I'm going to say he might have lacked some mental clarity in terms of what, when, where, and how he needed to pursue. Like I said, that conflict in him between the spiritual and the mental thing. How do you proceed from that? Where do I go from here? There was a little bit of conflict. There was most certainly lacking mental clarity there. Then you have the Seven of Swords, which is very, very interesting because this talks about betrayal and dishonesty. I do believe he felt that there was a little bit of betrayal in terms of his personal relationship, or with his intimate relationship with whoever. I do believe he felt betrayed. I'm not going to go so far as to say like cheating, etc., but betrayal of a different kind. Like, he might have realized that all this time they've been telling me they understand me, they get me, but actually they don't. I now realize that they don't. And that was a different kind of betrayal, right? Then you have the Six of Cups. Six of Cups is saying, wanting to go back to the past. And I think there was somebody else from his past who he started thinking about and saying, maybe that would have been a better fit. Maybe that would have been a better match for me. But then he was limited because of Saturn. He was limited. He wasn't able to really go forth and really pursue that, because somehow he felt he was limited because he was tied to the current situation, a current relationship, and couldn't extricate himself to go towards the one who he knew or thought of in the past. So excuse me, I do believe he felt trapped. And it's like, oh shoot, what do I do? But now I have this commitment, come hell or high water, I have to make it work because this is what is expected of me. Not that I wouldn't, but I'm betrayed. I don't think it's the right fit for me at the moment. But there's nothing I can do about it, because there was a sense of honor as well. It's like, even though this is going against the grain of what I want to do in life, I'm just going to continue to do it because it's the right thing to do. But then again, I wish I could free myself and just go off and be Kurt Cobain, you know. Then we have the Knight of Pentacles. He definitely was a very, very hardworking type of an individual. All right, very, very hardworking, and I wouldn't be surprised if he really did, want to pursue and try to find somebody who could teach him things about, how shall I put it, regeneration and death and the afterlife and etc. But also in terms of, remember, the eighth house isn't just that. Eighth house is also will, secrets, occult, death, regeneration, sexual energy, finances. These are some of the aspects of the eighth house. And his eighth house, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, is Libra. So that constantly needing to find that balance was a struggle. But I also believe that he was trying to find some balance in terms of finances. I wonder if there was some drama going on in terms of his management company or his agent or something to do with finances. I wonder if there was something going on over there, whether, he might have thought, or he might have had this conversation with his agent. Look, I'm good, man. I've got enough money to live a comfortable life the rest of my life. I'm good. I just want to break off and go off and do my thing and just go make music somewhere else. And unfortunately, I don't think he could extract himself because of the contracts, etc. So I don't know how all that works, because clearly I'm not a agent in the entertainment industry. Now, neither do I know anything about that kind of a law. So, and then we do have the Nine of Cups. Now, with excuse me, y'all, I'm sorry. His fifth house is Cancer, and fifth house talks about speculation, kids, love affairs, etc. A lot of his fifth house being Cancer, and the fifth house represents kids and love affairs and speculation. Wish fulfillment, he was unable to, that wasn't fulfilling for him. It wasn't what he thought it would be. It wasn't how he thought it would be. So unfortunately, I do believe that he felt a little bit of a lack over there. It wasn't as fulfilled, like to appearance's sake. Yeah, everybody was like, oh, he's in love. He has that Courtney, whatever her name is, Courtney Love, is that her name? I don't know. And that baby, and oh, everything must be hunky-dory. What meets the eye is good. What he is projecting is fine. But what's truly going on in the man's head? What's going on in his heart? Right? I mean, to think about it, now he would have been 55 years, 54, 55 years. Can you imagine Kurt Cobain today? I mean, shoot, he would have been like, whatever. All right. Betrayal, y'all. It's so, am I surprised that there is betrayal? I'm not at all surprised, and I'm not keeping these cards on this just for a thing. It's just, excuse me. Eight of Wands. Why is this betrayal thing so obvious? Ace of Cups, overwhelming emotions. Betrayal came fast. Overwhelming emotions took the wind out of his sails, which made him feel like he was somehow restrained, constrained, bound, and couldn't get out of the situation. And Ten of Cups, right? Ten of Cups does talk about, the contentment and the total love and support. So I feel like he definitely did feel betrayed, and that betrayal came really fast, and it was not very nice for him, because Eight of Wands does talk about it coming quickly and catching him off guard, okay? Catching him off guard. And he definitely wasn't like, because see, here you have the Seven of Swords here, right? Betrayal there again, right? Seven of Swords talks about dishonesty, betrayal, theft, all that stuff. So definitely this betrayal card showing up over here goes to show that, and again, lack of mental clarity, that it came fast, okay? And it was so overwhelmingly emotional for him that he felt like he couldn't do anything about it. He felt like somehow he couldn't take any action. He couldn't do anything about it. He felt like his hands were bound behind him and he couldn't do anything. He was like, I'm stuck in this situation. How do I get out of this situation and move towards wish fulfillment and move towards, having the peace and love and support of my family? How do I how do I extricate myself from all of this and get to this point? So there was a little bit of I feel for him. This young man had certainly some something that really tormented him towards the end of his life. So I don't know what the coroner said and what the thing is, y'all. I mean, overdose, purposefully suicide or accidental overdose. I don't know none of that. I just know what the cards are saying. Again, this is for entertainment purposes only. These are my observations and my opinions. Please do your own due diligence, form your own conclusions, and draw your own opinions. Now, a lot of people, email me and say, well, Kirtana, it doesn't make sense, But here's what I have to say. I'm looking at things from an esoteric perspective, right? I mean, what the forensics and the doctors and all that, the whatchamacall, those guys who do the postmortem, whatever, coroner's office, whatever they say is what they say. I mean, like I said, we all have our opinions, and it is what it is. So I'm looking at things from a spiritual perspective, okay? So and I want to say the one person from my channel who had been for the longest time, and she's been a subscriber for the longest time, and I've since then come to quite have quite a few interactions with her. We've spoken many a time, etc. And she's a phenomenal human being. Like all of us, we go through our ups and downs in life, and some of us kind of get a hold of ourselves and able to move on. And she's one of those people. Like, she's just phenomenal. I don't think she gives herself enough credit for who she is and how far she's come in life. She's just a phenomenal person. Phenomenal. I'm just going to mention her first name just for the sake of security. Her name is Pauline. So Pauline, this one is for you, honey. Thank you so much for your encouragement, for commenting, for participating in my live streams, etc. I do appreciate you. Much love to you, and I want you to know you are the first person actually who asked me to do this reading for Kurt Cobain, and you asked me like a long time ago. Finally, here it is, right? So this one is for you. A shout out to Pauline. Which reminds me, I need to call you Pauline. So maybe after this reading, I'll call you and say, hey girl, go watch the video. It's up just for you. All right, so 2 cards. So we have the Ten of Wands, feeling very burdened, feeling extremely burdened. And see, here's another thing with the wanting and needing to stay within his boundaries. He was feeling very burdened about the fact that there were some limitations put on him. 100%, there were some limitations put on him, and he was feeling very, all this drama that was going on, feeling very burdened by those limitations. Like, he was definitely forced to maintain boundaries and keep doing what they, as in whoever they are, like his agents or the music industry or whatever. See, I'm not calling his agents bad or anything. I'm just saying whatever his commitments were, like the load that was put on him, he felt that it was quite a bit. He couldn't extract himself. He couldn't get away from it, because if he had gotten away from this situation, this betrayal type of situation, he would have gone on to be live a happy life, live his natural life. Absolutely. But he also did feel burdened. It's like, danged if I do and danged if I don't. I cannot get out of this situation. Feeling very burdened about having to continue to stay within his boundaries, meaning stay within the contract and continue to pursue and deliver on what, contractually he was asked to. And then you have the Empress card. Now, the Empress, as we all know, right, is ruled by Venus. Now, this again signifies a female, right? A female, it could be Courtney, and this also signifies pregnancy. So I don't know whether it was because of the pregnancy, that was another part of it that forced him to stay back in the relationship or whatever. But she's popping up here, and it's saying that there is sure, they had a good relationship, whatever, but I don't think it was really fulfilling for him. I don't think this individual truly understood his soul, truly was able to fulfill that part of his psyche or his personality or his life or his existence or whatever. I don't think, and I think he kind of sort of realized that too, but he wasn't able to extract himself. Let's see what this one is. Let's see. So I do believe with this card, I'm going to say that with the Page of Cups, I wonder if they had talks about having another child, and he was like, no, I don't want to get pregnant again. I wonder if that was another thing that was going on between the two of them. And he was like, no, I don't want to have another child. I have a feeling there must have been some talks about, having another child. And also, I do believe there might have been somebody else who might have entered his sphere who caught his attention. Did he pursue it? No, I don't think he did. But Ace of Wands. This is very, very, very interesting. So one of two things: either she was putting pressure on him that we should have another child right now, and he was like, hell no, I don't want to do it. And another thing, I do believe that somebody else might have stepped into his life who he was like, he might have glanced over and looked at and say, well, maybe this person. Now, is it the same person from the past? Could be. Maybe she stepped forward. The person from the past came back around into his sphere, and he's like, okay, now, what do I do? I have to take a decision. I have to take control of my life, and I have to be creative in how I go about fixing this situation or resolving this conflict or this situation. Like the great need to take charge. This also, I will say, was definitely something to do with his ego. Not that he was egotistical, that's not what I'm calling him, but his masculinity. It's like, I need to step up to the plate and call it for what it is and take action and take back control. That's what I'm going to say here. Okay? So then let's get some other, oops. See, Five of Wands, it was not going to happen, because this says a lot of challenges and obstacles were thrown in his way. Absolutely, there were a lot of challenges and obstacles thrown in his way. No way were they going to let him get out of this discard, the one on top. Knight of Wands. For him, he wanted to go off and be his creative self. He really wanted, he was like, for him, creating music was like the thing for him. I do believe that here he was like, dang, I just want to go off and create music. Just let me be. I just want to go off and create music. Why can't you guys just let me go, man? Shoot, just let me go. I want to go and create music. That's all I want. Six of Pentacles. I'm willing to give some to get some. In the sense, I'm willing to, I don't even know where to put this card. Well, let's just put it here for the time being. There's no particular reason. I'm just trying to organize things. So with the Six of Pentacles, there's this great need of negotiating. Hey, let's negotiate. I'll give you this for this. I'm willing to do this for this. Even financial negotiation in terms of, if I want to cut ties, what's it going to cost? All right, fine. Let me just pay that and you bugger off and I go my way. Or even in terms of being overly generous in his bartering, in his negotiations, settling, because he's like, it's okay, even if I have to give a little bit more, that's fine. I just want to be done with it. There was a great need for him to leave, y'all. I don't know why. And see, you have the Knight of Cups again, which is pretty interesting. Okay. The Knight of Cups does talk about, I do believe that whoever that individual was, it kind of woke in him a feeling of being alive, that finally I'm alive. Finally, I feel refreshed. It's kind of almost wake up his soul, wake up his mind, wake up his heart. Like feeling enlivening him. I don't know, y'all, if that's I don't know. I hope you get what I'm trying to say. But I don't think that was well received. I think there were other people around him who were not too happy with this new influence type of thing. I don't think so. Well, obviously they were not too happy with the new influence, because they were like, no, we gotta shut it down. And the Death card talks about change and rebirth, but they were like, no, we gotta shut it down. We gotta change. We can't let him go on like this. We're all going to lose. We gotta shut it down. And I think he kind of picked up on that energy. And then you have the Chariot card. Oh my God. Chariot card is a Cancer card. And the Cancer card is, what did I say? He's a Pisces, and it's the fifth house. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the fifth house talks about speculation, love affairs, kids, etc. So I do believe the powers to be were like, oh no, we can't let him go on in this direction and let that new something come along, because it's going to disrupt everything, and that is not going to go down very well. We got to put an end to it and bring him back on track, and then make sure he maintains his focus, maintains his attention on his first commitment, which is us, and make sure he delivers on that. Make sure he delivers on that, right? And stop the speculation, stop the wanting to go off and having love affairs or whatever. Stop with this new thing. We need to make sure that he maintains his focus, he pays attention to the details, he focuses on his career and keeps his balance. That's what they wanted for him. But it really, if he was somehow able to extract himself from that, the constraints of those binding contracts, he would have gone on to make beautiful music, but he would have gone on to do it with a lighter soul. And can you imagine the kind of music he would have made? Hell. Four of Pentacles, insecurity on the power. Where do I put? I got the beautiful layout over here, and I don't want to mess with it. Insecurity. So I'll just leave it on the side, y'all. Okay, I'm just going to leave it here. You can kind of sort of see it. Oh, actually, let me put it here. There's a little bit of insecurity and a feeling of wanting to hold on, definitely wanting to hold on here. And then you have the Seven of Cups, which is the card of overindulgence, the card of too many choices, not willing to make a commitment, overindulgence, gaslighting yourself, somebody else gaslighting you, insecurity, overindulgence, absolutely overindulgence, because escapism, right? Doing drugs is a form of escaping reality. Then you have Ace of Pentacles, and the Ace of Pentacles talks about there definitely was some new promotion or some kind of a new project or something that they were working on. I don't know if, or a new concert tour or something like that. And of course, we have the Judgment card, which is Pluto. If he had gone ahead with that concert tour or whatever, I have a feeling at the end of that tour, he would have called it quits. He would have said, I'm going to go off into the woods and just be Kurt Cobain. Now, would he forever have been in the woods? No, after a period of time, he would have come out, but he would have been one of those creative artists who really didn't give a flip about, the commercialization of his industry of choice, or his, the music industry, or how it would affect his career. He would have been one of those artists who's like, I'm just going to go play music, man. There are people who are going to love my music no matter what, and there are people who don't give a flying fiddlestick about it. And he would have been totally okay. Now, with the Judgment card, let's understand this. Judgment card is a Pluto card, right? What does the Judgment card do? I mean, what does it signify? It talks about completion, success through spiritual rebirth. Absolutely. If he could go away and just make his music, just be Kurt Cobain, step away from the limelight and do what he needed to, he would have definitely been able to evolve spiritually, and he would have definitely continued to be a successful person, because I foresee him as being a true free spirit. Okay, even though he's a Pisces, yeah, there's a lot of creativity. There's a need with Jupiter there. There's a great need for being free to travel, to mentally and emotionally travel, to try to pursue philosophy, the reason, the purpose of life, the value of life, those kind of things. And then you also have, remember, it's not just Jupiter that rules a beautiful Pisces. We have Neptune. It's all about, trying to sift through the illusions and trying to find what reality meant to him, what his reality was, trying to sift through and make understand all the confusion, all the haze, all the smog, all the cut through the chaff, if you will, and try to get a clearer picture and understanding of who really Kurt Cobain is. And also try to make meaning. I will tell you, this man had a lot of lucid dreams. Now, a lot of people can say, haha, Kirtana, he did a lot of drugs. So clearly, well, I don't know, y'all. I mean, I wasn't there. I didn't see him do drugs. Okay, if everybody says he did drugs, he probably did, if there's proof of it. But did I see him do it? Like, no, clearly, so I don't know. Oh, okay. So you can see the cards. All right. So I'm going to say it would have been a phase for him where it would have been like a spiritual, like retreating and finding your spiritual self, finding your spiritual soul. And after a few years, he would have come back to the mainstream if he wanted to. He would have definitely done. He would be one of those artists who once every 3-4 years releases an album and it's always going to hit the charts, right? That kind of a person. But it was all about pursuing and understanding spirituality and what that meant to him and for him. Oh my God, I can't. This is like just, I feel so, I don't know, y'all. I'm just going to pull one card from this. Let me see. Oh, you know what? I don't know if I want to do this or if I want to do my old faithful, my favorites. I have my favorites. Let's pull one card for this. Very unfortunate. Let me state, it's not that he's an irresponsible person. That's not it at all. Irresponsible towards his wife and daughter. That's not what I'm saying. It was not at all a question of irresponsibility. In fact, it's the opposite. Because he felt so kind of pulled in 20 different directions, because he knew he had to do the right thing to be there for them, and yet he didn't want to, because he felt he would be a better human being if he were alone. And by being alone, by being single, he felt that he would have done more and done better for them and brought more meaning and value to their life. But it's the expectations that the public had on him, and what is the norm, what society expects, and what is acceptable to society, as opposed to just going off and doing your own thing. So that was his quandary. Oh my God. The Fool card, look at that, y'all. He absolutely, I'm not going to pull any more cards for this fine man. He wanted, with the Fool card, it tells us willingness to make a change, willingness to take a gander, willingness to take that risk, knowing very well risk taking is not a Pisces thing. Okay, let me just say, willingness to delve into the unknown, dive into the deep sea and try to figure out a way, wanting to explore, understanding that there's an element of risk in it. Okay, understanding there's a lot that's unknown, but he wanted to go on that journey to find out what was in the unknown. Because if we were to both go on the same adventure of finding what is this unknown, what I would find would be different than what he finds, because the way I would look at things through my eyes, through my vision, through my soul and through my heart is completely different from what he would. Right? Even though it may be the same thing, the way we perceive it is so independent and individual to us. So obviously we're going to take away the same thing. Like if you see a picture that has black, white and gray swirls, and if you ask me, Kirtana, what you see, I would say I see gray, white and black swirls. Well, he may say I see white, gray and black swirls. You know what I mean? Did I say that? Yeah. So you get what I'm trying to say, right? So it's very interesting. I mean, he was all about wanting to be free, not free as in wanting to be irresponsible and not have any responsibilities, not that, because he felt that by being free, emotionally, spiritually and mentally free, he could then be the best self that he could ever present to the world. And by not being able to do that, he felt that he was taking away from people and not doing the right thing. So I'm just going to stop with this reading. I hope all of you enjoyed it. It's very, very unfortunate, so many of these talented people, they come to pass so young, and it always breaks my heart. It's never easy to lose a loved one, right? But then when they go so young, it's like, oh my goodness, what in the world, right? It just kind of takes the wind out of your sails. Now, I will tell you though, if he had gone on to be able to do what he truly desired, I'm sorry, y'all, that groaning and moaning is my sidekick here, Mr. Saint Bernard. Bernie, do you want to come and say hello? No? You just want to lay there? Okay. if he had if he was truly left to be, and if he had the opportunity to go off into the spiritual unknown, and if he had the opportunity to go and be free, be spiritually free, and not have so many demands and constraints on him, and be able to do whatever he wanted to do, right? Such a phenomenal human being. He would have done so much for people. He would have done so much for the music industry. He would have been phenomenal for his family, his friends, and just a great human being. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to stop this reading right now. Thank you so very much for watching. Please do give me a thumbs up, hit the bell icon so you'll be notified of all the other videos that I put up, and please do leave your comments below. I would greatly appreciate it. For my visitors, I hope you subscribe and become a member of the Real family. Thank you so very much. Blessed be.